Hey everyone, I'm Mary, a 32-year-old software engineer, and I've always been proud of my mixed race background. Growing up, my parents showered me with love and encouragement, which helped me excel in school and eventually land my dream job. Life was going great. I met Liam Carter, an incredibly talented architect, and we fell head over heels for each other. Before long, we were walking down the aisle and starting our own little family. When our daughter Jennifer was born, I felt like life couldn't get any better. But that's when I started noticing something odd about my mother-in-law, Elizabeth. Don't get me wrong, she's well respected in our neighborhood, always hosting fancy parties and mingling with the local bigwigs. But the way she treated Jennifer made me uncomfortable. "Oh, Mary dear," she'd say, "have you noticed how Jennifer isn't babbling as much as her cousins did at this age?" I'd brush it off, replying, "Every child develops at their own pace, Elizabeth. Jennifer is perfect just the way she is." But the comments kept coming. At family gatherings, I'd overhear her comparing Jennifer to her other grandkids, always finding a way to make my baby girl seem less than. "Liam, honey, did you hear what your mom said about Olivia?" I asked one day. "Come on, Mary, you know how she is. She doesn't mean anything by it," Liam would say. I tried to focus on the good things, my awesome job, my loving husband, and our beautiful daughter, but Elizabeth's subtle jabs were starting to wear on me. Thank goodness for my work buddy, Michael. He became my go-to person when things got tough, both at the office and at home. "Mary, you can't let her comments get to you," Michael would say during our coffee breaks. "You're an amazing mom, and Jennifer is lucky to have you." "Thanks, Michael," I'd reply. I just wish Liam would see it that way. As time went on, I couldn't shake the feeling that Elizabeth's behavior was more than just innocent remarks. There was something underlying her comments, something that made me uncomfortable. One day, during lunch with Michael, I finally voiced my concerns. "Michael, am I crazy, or is there something off about the way Elizabeth treats Jennifer?" He looked at me thoughtfully. "Mary, from what you've told me, it sounds like there might be some prejudice there. Have you talked to Liam about it?" "I've tried," I sighed, "but he always defends her, saying I'm being too sensitive." "Well, you're not alone," Michael reassured me. "Don't let anyone make you doubt yourself or Jennifer." His words gave me strength, but I couldn't help feeling like a storm was brewing. Elizabeth's comments were becoming more frequent, and I was starting to see a pattern. As Jennifer's third birthday approached, Elizabeth's remarks about her development became impossible to ignore. At the family barbecue celebrating Jennifer's birthday, I overheard a conversation that made my blood boil. "It's such a shame about little Jennifer," Elizabeth was saying to my sister-in-law. "She's just not as quick as the other children her age. I suppose it's to be expected, given Mary's background." I froze, the plate of cupcakes nearly slipping from my hands. Rage bubbled up inside me as I marched over to confront her. "What exactly do you mean by that, Elizabeth?" She had the audacity to look surprised. "Oh, Mary, I was just expressing concern for Jennifer's well-being. You know how important early development is." "No, you weren't. You were implying that my daughter is slow because of my race." "How dare you?" Liam appeared, sensing the tension. "What's going on here? Your mother thinks Jennifer is developmentally delayed because of my background. Can you believe that?" Liam looked uncomfortable, caught between us. "Mom, I'm sure you didn't mean it like that." "Mary, let's not make a scene at Jennifer's party." "Make a scene? Your mother just insulted our daughter and me, and you're worried about making a scene." The argument escalated, with Elizabeth denying any ill intent and Liam trying to play both sides. In the end, I stormed off, feeling utterly alone and unsupported. The next day at work, I was still reeling from the confrontation when another blow hit. My big project, the one I'd been working on for months, was in shambles. As I dug deeper, I realized someone had deliberately sabotaged my work. "Michael, I think Amanda messed with my project files," I confided during our lunch break. He looked concerned. "That's a serious accusation, Mary. Are you sure? The timestamps on the corrupted files match her login times. It can't be a coincidence." "You need to report this to HR," Michael advised. "And speaking of standing up for yourself, how are things at home after the party incident?" I sighed heavily. Liam is still playing peacemaker. He doesn't want to upset his mother or me, but by trying to please everyone, he's failing to support his own wife and daughter. Michael leaned forward, his expression serious. "Mary, you can't let this slide. Not at work. and not at home. You need to stand up for yourself and for Jennifer." His words struck a chord. That evening, I decided it was time to confront Liam. "We need to talk about what happened at the party," I said the moment he walked in. Liam sighed, clearly tired. "Can't we just move past it? Mom didn't mean any harm." "No, we can't," I replied firmly. "Your mother implied that our daughter is slow because of my race. How are you okay with that?" "She's just old-fashioned, Mary. She doesn't understand." I cut him off. "Stop making excuses for her. Our daughter deserves better. I want Jennifer to get tested for any developmental issues." Liam looked taken aback. "Tested? But there's nothing wrong with her." "Exactly. I want to prove your mother wrong once and for all." After a heated discussion, Liam reluctantly agreed. As I lay in bed that night, my mind raced with thoughts of work drama and family tension. I knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to fight for myself and my daughter. No one, not even my mother-in-law, would make us feel inferior again. The day the test results arrived, I could hardly contain my excitement. As soon as Liam got home, I rushed to share the news. "Liam, you won't believe this. Jennifer's results are in, and not only is she developing normally, but she's also gifted in several areas." Liam's eyes widened in surprise. "Really? That's amazing, Mary." I could see the realization dawning on his face as I continued. "The psychologist said her problem-solving skills are off the charts, and her language development is well above average for her age." I had no idea," Liam mumbled, genuinely shocked. "Now do you see what I've been saying about your mother's prejudice? She's been wrong about Jennifer this whole time." Liam nodded slowly. "I'm sorry I didn't believe you sooner. We need to tell Mom about this." When we shared the news with Elizabeth, her reaction was far from what we'd hoped. "Well, I'm sure those tests can be quite unreliable," she scoffed. "Perhaps you should get a second opinion from a more reputable source." I couldn't believe my ears. "Are you serious right now? You've been criticizing Jennifer's development for years, and now that we have proof she's gifted, you're claiming the tests are wrong." Lamb finally stepped in. "Mom, that's enough. These are professional results and we trust them." Elizabeth's face soured. "I'm just looking out for my granddaughter. If you two want to live in denial, that's your choice." That was the last straw. "You know what? Let's settle this once and for all. We'll all take a DNA test, you included, Elizabeth. Then we'll see if my background is really the issue here." The tension in the room was palpable. Liam looked uncomfortable but nodded in agreement. Elizabeth, caught off guard, reluctantly agreed, probably thinking she had nothing to lose. As we waited for the DNA test results, I threw myself into work, determined to expose Amanda's sabotage. Michael and I spent late nights gathering evidence, combing through system logs and file histories. "Look at this," I said one evening, pointing at my screen. Amanda accessed my project files at 2 a.m., way outside of work hours. Michael leaned in, nodding. "That's definitely suspicious. We've got her now, Mary." But as I focused on work, I noticed Liam growing more distant. He was spending more time at the office, coming home late and exhausted. One night, I couldn't hold back any longer. "Liam, what's going on? You're barely home anymore." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'm sorry, Mary. This whole situation with Mom and Jennifer, it's a lot to process. I need some space to think." "Space? Liam, I need your support now more than ever. We're supposed to be a team." I know. I need time." As Liam pulled away, I found myself relying more and more on Michael's support. We'd grab coffee after work, and I'd vent about my frustrations. "I just don't understand, Michael. Why can't Liam see how toxic his mother's behavior is?" Michael placed a comforting hand on mine. "He's caught between two worlds, Mary. It's not easy for him, but that doesn't excuse his behavior. You deserve better." A warmth spread through me at his words, a feeling I hadn't experienced in a long time. "Thanks, Michael. I don't know what I'd do without you right now." As the days passed, waiting for the DNA results felt like an eternity. The tension at home was unbearable, with Liam barely speaking to me and Jennifer picking up on the stress. I threw myself into work and leaned on my friendship with Michael, trying to stay strong for what was to come. Little did I know, the results would change everything. The day the DNA results arrived, my hands shook as I opened the envelope. I couldn't believe my eyes. Liam, you need to see this, I called, my voice trembling. He rushed over, looking concerned. What is it? Your mother. She has mixed heritage, including ancestors from my background. Liam's jaw dropped. That's impossible. But it was true. Elizabeth, the woman who had criticized my heritage for years, shared the very ancestry she despised. When we confronted her with the results, her reaction was explosive. This is absurd. These tests are clearly flawed. I won't stand for this nonsense. But Liam, finally seeing the full extent of his mother's toxicity, stood by my side. Enough, Mom. Your behavior has been unacceptable. Until you can acknowledge your prejudice and apologize, we're cutting ties. Elizabeth stormed out, leaving us in stunned silence. Meanwhile, at work, things were coming to a head with Amanda. I presented my evidence to HR, and within days, she was dismissed. You did it, Mary, Michael said, giving me a high five. Justice served. As news of Elizabeth's hypocrisy spread through her social circles, she faced increasing isolation. But I couldn't bring myself to feel sorry for her. My career, on the other hand, was skyrocketing. A top tech company offered me a prestigious position, recognizing my skills and resilience. One evening, Liam approached me, looking contrite. Mary, I owe you an apology. I should have supported you from the beginning. Can you forgive me? I took a deep breath. It's not going to be easy, Liam, but if you're willing to work on our relationship, so am I. Over the following months, Liam proved his commitment. He attended therapy, actively supported my career, and doted on Jennifer. Elizabeth made several attempts to reconcile, but I stood firm. I'm sorry, Elizabeth, but I can't expose Jennifer to your toxic influence. Maybe someday, but not now. As time passed, our family grew stronger. Jennifer thrived, her gifts blossoming in a supportive environment. Liam and I rebuilt our bond, stronger than ever. One sunny afternoon, as we watched Jennifer play in the park, Liam squeezed my hand. Thank you for fighting for our family, Mary. I'm so proud of you. I smiled, feeling truly content. We fought for it together, Liam. That's what matters. Looking at my beautiful, mixed-race daughter and my supportive husband, I knew we had overcome the worst. Our future was bright, filled with love and acceptance, free from the shadows of prejudice that had once threatened to tear us apart. Now I have a question for you. If you were in Mary's position, would you ever consider reconciling with Elizabeth, given her history of racism and the pain she caused? Or is cutting toxic family members out of your life sometimes the best solution, even if they're blood relatives? Share your thoughts in the comments below.